Hey everyone, so my understanding of the relationship between sex and resistance has changed over the semester. Originally I kind of just saw sex as gender, like male, female, and resistance as fighting against that gender. But I feel like it's so much more than that. It's like the experiences of the women, and like because a lot of the examples that I'll talk about is that women are discriminated against based on their sex in a sexual way, like through sexual assault and rape and stuff like that, and just the way that they can show resistance in that is so powerful. So the first example is Mahazaweta Devi's Draupadi. So Draupadi, she says, Draupadi stands before him naked, thigh and pubic hair matted with dry blood, two breasts, two wounds. What is this? He is about to bark. Draupadi comes closer, stands with her hand on her hip, laughs, and says, "The object of your search, Dapti Mehin. You asked them to make me up. Don't you want to see how they made me?" So here, Draupadi has already been sexually assaulted and raped by these people, and she's coming up to the leader and is like, "Look what you've done." And he's like, "What is this?" And she's like, she laughs and literally is like, "What do you mean? This is literally like what you wanted. Like this is what you told your men to do." So, and she's just like showing him, he's like not wanting to see it, and she's like, "No, look what you've done to me. Look what you've done to me based on my sex in a sexual way." And she's just resisting the norm of like, "Oh, like it's just stay quiet about that. That's something you need to deal with personally." She's like, "No, you need to see what you've done." The second example I pulled is from Pussy Riot, Straight Out of Vagina. It says, the lyrics say, "My vagina is tough and dangerous, shaking up the major labels. Vagina gonna take the stage, because vagina got a lot to say. Don't play stupid, don't play dumb. Vagina's where you're really from." So like here, it's like women are often seen as weak and not going to speak up, but Pussy Riot is saying like, "No, we're tough and but dangerous because we have a vagina." And it's like we like this music video, it's like completely against the norm. So like a lot of times vagina is a very taboo word. Like you don't talk about vaginas, you don't talk about periods, you don't talk about sex and stuff like that. And so here I feel like Pussy Riot is just like, "No, like we're going to talk about it because you should be afraid of us. Like you stop instilling fear in us from you and instead be afraid of like what we can do." And then like the last line, "Vagina is where you're really from." So like here, like she's just like, everybody's from a freaking vagina. Like why is it such a taboo subject when we literally all come from that, from our moms. Then the third example is I chose is "It Happened Here" at the very end, the little like synopsis run in. It says, "As a result of students' testimony, the Connecticut state legislature drafted new laws protecting students' rights. On January 22nd, 2014, President Obama announced a White House task force to strengthen federal enforcement of laws to protect students from sexual assault on their campuses. In July 2014, UConn settled students' lawsuits for $1.3 million. So here, these women fought for themselves and stood up, and instead of just staying quiet about their sexual assault, they spoke up about it. And then not only that, they fought for themselves and for other women on college campuses, and they resisted the norm of like, "Oh, it just happened to you, it's not going to happen to anyone else," and stood up and took it legally. And I feel like, so like these examples definitely contribute to my definitions of sex and resistance and how they relate, that like sex is not only just our gender, but how it is perceived by society and the expectations and norms placed on it, and then the resistance that we can show against those. In the next month, I want to enact these insights in my own life by talking to women in my life. I know, like, for example, my grandmother, she grew up Catholic and divorced her abusive husband, so she showed a lot of resistance on that, and just other women in my life that I know have resisted the sexual or the society norms over sex and stuff like that. So thank you for listening. Bye.